Hey Virgos, welcome to your Aquarius season reading, where we'll take a peek at how you can best bask in your own individuality and set your course going forward. So looking at the energy that's surrounding this reading, we're starting off with Orphaned. And let's grab another and see what other energies are surrounding my Virgo collective for their Aquarius season reading. That one popped back and forth. And what we have for you is Appreciation. So I think that for a lot of my Virgos over the past few months, few years, you have been feeling in some way, shape, or form let down by life. It's almost as if it's like, damn, did the universe forget about me? Because I've been working, I've been trying, I have, been doing the best that I can, and I constantly feel like I haven't done enough because I'm not necessarily seeing the fruits of my labor. It's like if you were the Seven of Pentacles, then it's like I'm planting all these seeds, but clearly the soil is broken because there's nothing growing here. And I think that there's a sense, particularly with the Appreciation card, that you're not giving yourself enough credit for what it is that you have accomplished. It's like that saying, like, if you want to see how far you've come, then take a look at where you've been. And I think, Virgos, that if you were to stop and sort of take a look back at where you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, then you would see that you actually have made more progress than I think that you realize. And that while things may have been a little bit slow, they may have been a little bit challenging, you have not been left behind by the universe. You have not been left behind by spirit. And more importantly, you have not been left behind by yourself. So there's just this overwhelming sense. It's like, you know what, Virgo, give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a hug, because I think you're underestimating who you are, what you're capable of, and what you've already accomplished. So let's see how we can tap into that for this here Aquarius season and get you feeling good about your life and yourself again. So Aquarius season for you is represented by the Six of Swords. So this is a good thing. This is you moving from a pretty rough patch towards calmer waters. This is a bit of a journey for you, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, it could be physically, but there feels like it's going to be a transition where you can actually take a little bit of time to exhale now, where it's like, ooh, okay, is it over? Is it done? Are we cool? Like, can I relax? Is another wave going to hit me? It feels like you're coming out of those choppy waves and into something a lot smoother. We have the Knight of Wands to clarify. So the Knight of Wands is a messenger card. Knights are messengers. And with the wands, this is something that's pretty exciting. It's a very passionate, fiery energy. There's a lot of creativity that comes in with this knight. So I think that with the transition of you moving from these challenging times that you've been experiencing into a calmer period of life is also going to be marked by this sort of refreshing of your energy, where you start thinking outside of the box, you start exploring more, you start doing things that excite you. There are going to be opportunities that come in for you that's like, oh, I hadn't thought about that, but that seems like it'll be interesting. That seems like it'll be pretty good. Let me try it. So this season for you is going to be you sort of breaking out of this little rut that you've had. You're going to be a lot more excited about life than you have been, I think, in the very recent past. So how you can best explore this, which I kind of love, we have the Six of Cups, and we have that clarified by the Eight of Wands, and we also have the King of Cups in reverse. So for my Virgos, I do feel like for a lot of you, the challenges that you have experienced have been with people that you have had some level of emotion for in the past. That may have, it's almost like you think about this person or these people and how you dealt with them, and it's like, I cannot believe that I wasted so much time with them. And it's almost as if that period of time that you did invest with them you feel like it stunted you a little bit, where it's like, I could have done so much more. I could have been so much further in life if I had not spent all of my time focused on them. And so with these cards, the Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It's about sort of looking back in the past, and sometimes that past can be romanticized. But I feel like that's pairing with the King of Cups in reverse, where there was someone that you were giving love, but weren't necessarily giving that love back to you. And so the best way I think that you can take advantage of the energy for this Aquarius season is by moving on with the Eight of Wands. This is rapid movement. And so, where the Eight of Cups, can be walking away from something, walking towards something else. The Eight of Wands is really just about movement. And so I think that this is you moving beyond the memories of the past and sort of being stuck there and sort of saying, this prevented me from better progression in my own life. So if you're sort of sitting and stuck in that past energy, it's really going to hinder your ability to move forward more rapidly, as you've already seen. So taking advantage of this energy that's coming in for you is going to require you to sort of leave it in the past. It's like, I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. You're gone. This energy for you is done. I think you've had your fill of letting it hold you back. Now, when it comes to other people, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So the Six of Pentacles is really about oftentimes an equal give and take. Someone who's giving to you, someone that you're giving to in sort of equal measure. But I think that with this in reverse, expectations that you have of other people, especially this past person, is that this is not going to ever be equitable for you. It feels as though you're always going to be giving more to them. So if you have thoughts about, well, maybe I could do this or maybe I could do that. Well, yeah, you could do this or that, but that person's not going to do this or that in return. So, holding on to that energy and hoping that they change, that things are going to get better, it's probably not. And despite that, you have still made a fair bit of progress in your life, even though you can't necessarily see it right now. And we have that clarified by the Lovers in reverse. So for whomever this person is that you may have been thinking about, it's your life. I will say that, full disclaimer, it's your life. You absolutely have free will and you can do what you feel is best for you. But just based on the energy from this reading, it's probably a good idea to just walk away from this, because they are not going to live up to your expectations. They are not going to give you what it is that you need. And they are going to act as a barrier to you getting to this place where you appreciate life. It's like you felt very, I think, alone. You felt like things were very one-sided. It could have been a very sort of back and forth, in and out type of unstable energy. But again, I need you to appreciate the person that you are and the strides that you've accomplished in spite of dealing with all of this extra stress, all of this chaos and this drama that you may have been involved in with this other person. So staying true to yourself throughout the Aquarius season, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So it's interesting because this is really about finding happiness. And a lot of times that happiness comes from external things. It comes from other people. It comes from a job or having money. And so I feel like staying true to yourself throughout this Aquarius season, Virgo, is you finding that happiness inside of you and not looking to anyone or anything else to do that. And I think that that internal joy is going to come from you increasing the appreciation for yourself and who you are as a person. We also have that clarified by strength and the devil. So the devil in reverse is really about letting go of bad habits. In the context of relationships, it could have to do with codependency or other unhealthy traits that you or another person have brought together in the context of a relationship. And it's okay to sort of be vulnerable, right? With strength in reverse, you do not have to constantly fight for things, especially when it comes to love and relationships. If you're always battling to prove yourself to someone else, or you're constantly battling to get their validation or get something from them that they're not willing to give themselves, it's okay to walk away. You do not constantly have to be strong for that. So the focus is really on you and the inner work that you need to do to find your own happiness, to appreciate yourself when this other person clearly did not. Now, your inner voice also has a message for you. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. This actually, I think, came out in Taurus's reading as well. So, Spirit's speaking to you all, and it's telling you that your focus needs to be on stability, that it needs to be on you. It needs to be on building those things in life that are relatively unshakable. Right? So whereas emotions can be a little bit fickle, this is you focusing on your career, on your education, on building a business, on those tangible things, right? Building up your finances. Because I think that for a lot of Virgos out there, you're looking back and thinking about opportunities that you may have missed that could have created more opportunities for you in the future because you were dealing with these jokers over here. And so Spirit is saying, keep your mind on your money and your money on your mind, right? Not saying that there's not room for romance or love or anything like that, but you have to make sure that your foundation comes first and foremost. And we also have the Page of Cups to clarify. So what I literally just said was that this does not mean that there's no room for love in your life. There is, but if you look here, we have the 10 of Pentacles with the Page of Cups. Now, pages are apprentices. They're naive. They're just starting out, right? They're not entirely sure what they're doing. It's a very young energy. And so I think that when it comes to love, there's a need for you to relearn some things, for you taking your time and growing and letting the other person show you what they have. So this is not you going into any sort of romantic endeavors as a queen or a king, just going in full throttle. This is you taking baby steps in and letting the other person show you what it is that they have to offer. And then you can figure out whether or not they're a good match for you. But at the same time, you are always going to be focused on your own stability and your own happiness. So another message from Spirit that we have, count your blessings. So we started out with the overall energy being the appreciation card. And now Spirit is reinforcing, count your blessings, because you're not doing as bad as you think, Virgo. Maybe you had some delays, maybe you had a couple of setbacks, but it wasn't fatal. And there's time to recover, and there's time to recapture and embrace a life that you absolutely love. It is going to require you walking away from the memory of this person. And if they pop back up, if y'all are old enough, you've been to an arcade and you remember that little game Whack-A-Mole, where the little mole pops his head up and you just like bap, bap, and you just keep whacking them back down. Please keep whacking that mole back down because they're interfering in your life path. So focus on your stabilities, appreciate the person that you are, and leave a little bit of space for love, but only if the other person shows that they're worthy of being loved back. So that's what I got for my Virgos out there. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.